Now let's do an example of a second power equation where we have an x that is second power in our equation. In order to solve a second power equation, we'll do something different from last time when we were solving first power equations. In first power equations, we moved all the x terms to the left and all the constants to the right. However, for a second power equation, we'll be using a different technique where we just move every term to the left. When we do this, we'll end up with a 0 on the right. This means what we'll move this time is our negative 88. That negative 88, when we move it, will become positive 88. If we do this, our new equation will be 2x squared minus 30x plus 88. We'll say equals 0 because there's nothing on the right anymore. Now we'll use our factoring techniques to attempt to solve this equation. When we factor, the first thing we do is look for something in common in all three terms. We might notice this time that all of our terms are even. We have 2x squared minus 30x plus 88, and so we will divide everything by 2. This includes the 0 on the right, but 0 divided by 2 still gives us 0. For the rest of the equation, 2x squared divided by 2 will cancel the 2's and leave us with x squared. Negative 30x divided by 2 will give us negative 15x, and 88 divided by 2 is 44. Now that we have this equation, let us think about two numbers that will multiply to 44, but add to negative 15. Let's briefly list out some factors of 44. We know 1 and 44 would be an option. 2 and 22 would also be an option. 4 and 11 would also be an option. And now let's look at what happens if we add them together. 1 plus 44 gives 45. That is not a match. 2 plus 22 would give us 24. Also no match. And 4 plus 11 would give us 15. This is the right number, but the wrong sign. Therefore, the numbers that we'll use are negative 4 and negative 11. This would give us the negative 15 we want. So now we will split this equation into two parentheses. We know our numbers are negative 4 and negative 11, and so we'll place those in the second position, and then place x in the first position for each of those, and say this is going to equal 0. Now that we've split our second power equations into two parentheses that are both first power, we will set each piece equal to 0. We do this because if either one of those pieces is 0, the whole thing becomes 0 because those two pieces are multiplied. For our left piece, we'll say x minus 4 equals 0, and for our right piece, we'll say x minus 11 equals 0. We will move our negative 4 over to the right and make it positive 4. This will give us x equals 4, and this will be our first solution. We'll do the same thing with negative 11. We'll take it from the left side and move it to the right, and when we move it, it will become positive 11. And we'll have x equals 11 for our second solution. Therefore, x equals 4 and x equals 11 will be our two solutions for this problem. Most of the time, when you're dealing with a second power equation, you can expect two solutions.